Hi, Blake from Football Boost at Code UK, and today we're doing a cleaning video on the brand new Mercurial Superfly 5 Spark Brilliance pack by Nike Football. So this is a virtually carbon copy of the Superfly 4 cleaning process, which we've also done on our YouTube channel, so check out that video if you haven't seen that, but a few minor differences which we'll get later into this video. So all you need for this cleaning process is a standard washcloth, a boot bro or a toothbrush, a bowl of warm water, a hand towel to dry the boots, and a bit of washing powder or liquid depending on what you have. So first things first, I'll go outside and knock off any excess mud which is on the sole plate. So before the cleaning process begins, I'll just remove the laces in fast speed. So it took me a while, but I've unlaced the laces on the Mercurial Superfly 5. These are black, and we'll clean these laces later in this video, just so you can see how you clean those. It was a bit of a tricky job to get laces out, because there are sort of double eyelets on the Superfly 5. Pretty much the same lacing system as what you saw on the Superfly 4, double eyelets. It's going to be very hard to actually put the laces back in, but that's for a separate video. So yes, we'll get straight into it. And get a washcloth and clean the speed rib Flyknit upper. So if you have been a fan of our previous cleaning videos, we've watched this Superfly 4, and this straight out of the cleaning process feels very similar. It does have that added speed rib texture on top of the upper, which makes it slightly more difficult than the Superfly 4's smooth Flyknit upper, but overall the mud actually cleans off very quickly. I'm actually surprised on how easy it is. So on the Pink Blast side, it's pretty much clean already, and on the lateral side, on the Total Crimson side, it's pretty much clean as well. Let's get to the heel. Just a standard cloth should do the job on this smooth Nike skin layer. As you can see, cleans up pretty nicely. So overall, it's just taken me about 30 seconds to clean the entire upper of this boot. It wasn't a cake of mud on the upper, but it was a very easy job. We'll get to the Flyknit later in this video, but overall, with a standard washcloth, cleaning the speed rib Nike skin upper, it is very easy. And after each process, just get the hand towel and just dry the boot off like that. Pretty easy for the upper of the Superfly 5. Now we'll get on to the most important part of the Superfly 5, the Flyknit upper. So it's also on the dynamic fit collar and this exposed region on the laces. So the fact that we've taken the laces out is going to mean it's going to be much easier to clean this exposed region. So all you need to clean the Flyknit is to dab your cloth with a bit of washing powder. Doesn't matter if the washing powder gets in the water. It's going to be quite concentrated, and you just sort of get a bit of water and you just sort of scrub away like this. We're actually quite lucky on the Superfly 5 launch design that the Flyknit is actually black, so it's going to appear that cleaning the Flyknit is going to be quite easy. Imagine if you had a sort of volt yellow collar or a red collar, it would be different. It would be a different story. But as you see, with a bit of washing powder or liquid, cleans the Flyknit quite easily, and it's not really too much effort. These collared boots will be a bit harder to clean than other standard Nike releases. For example, the Mercurial Vapor 11. So this is the Mercurial Vapor 11. It's got the low cut design and no Flyknit or no collar, so no sort of fabricated material. It's going to be a much easier boot to clean than the Superfly 5, which we will also do a cleaning video on when we actually get the boots muddy. So yeah, with a standard cloth and a bit of washing powder, the Flyknit can be cleaned quite easily. And one of our most popular videos on our channel is actually a washing machine cleaning video with the Superfly 4. Very popular, and you can also do that with the Superfly 5. And yes, we will be doing a washing machine video on the Superfly 5 later on our channel, so stay updated for that video. But overall, the standard washcloth, you can clean the upper and the flyknit very easily, and there's nothing around, no stitching lines or anything which is troublesome. It's quite easy to clean the boot. Just get that hand towel again and just dry it off completely. Pretty much the entire upper of this boot is clean. Now we'll get on to the sole plate. Now this is where we have two tools. We've got the boot bro or the toothbrush. Toothbrush is really for like around the studs, really sort of intricate area. Or your boot bro is a specially designed boot cleaning tool to clean the sole plate of this boot. And one thing I didn't mention before is that where the upper meets the sole, it's where you can get sole separation. Luckily this is a Nike boot, so you probably shouldn't worry about that too much. But just where mud can actually get stuck in, just get a cloth and just sort of rub the cloth quite gently around here just to get any mud out of that area. Some boots I've had, there's been really bad sole separation problems, especially on the Tempo Legend 6. That was quite prone to it, but Nike have addressed that issue and have fixed it for the Spark Brilliance pack on the Tempo Legend 6. But just clean any sort of mud that gets in between the sole and the upper just with a cloth and just lightly get all the mud out there. Just dry it off quickly. So now onto the sole plate. Pretty much get straight onto the boot bro or boot brush and just lightly clean the contoured sole plate on the Superfly 5. Now this is one of the headline features of the Superfly 5. It's a contoured sole plate made of nylon instead of carbon fiber. As you can see, the boot bro does a great job just cleaning around the studs there. It's actually quite tricky because this sole plate has a sort of ridge design. I'll just dry it off quickly, but I'll bring it close. It has a sort of ridge design from heel to toe. See, you can see the mud sort of gets stuck in the ridges here, and when you clean this way, the mud is actually quite hard to get, so you might actually decide to clean it this way just to get all the mud out in those regions. And as you can see, they're all chevron design studs on the heel and on the forefoot, pretty much designed for braking and accelerating in one. A really modern and enhanced sole plate. But just getting the boot bro on the forefoot there, doing a really good job of cleaning the sole plate. Now we get onto the heel here, and you've got to be quite gentle because the mud can actually spatter in several areas on the wall, on the bucket here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's been just spraying everywhere, so you have to be quite gentle with this boot bro. Slightly harder to clean the heel of the Superfly 5 with this boot bro, but just with a few movements, all the mud is virtually off this boot. So dry it off quickly. So I've done a pretty rough, quick job, but overall I've actually cleaned the entire boot. So the sole plate with the boot bro, the upper with a washcloth, the Flyknit Nike Skin upper with a washcloth, and pretty much the same thing on the Flyknit, but with a bit of washing powder. And overall, it's actually washed up pretty easily. I'm pretty impressed. I thought the speed rib upper will have some troublesome areas, but overall it's quite easy to clean, and it's virtually as easy as the Superfly 4 cleaning process. So I didn't mention this before the cleaning process, so you can actually get a cloth or some newspaper inside the boot just to fill it out, so no excess water sort of damages the inner linings of the boot, the sock liner or under the sock liner. And one thing I didn't mention as well is that the sock liner, to clean the sock liner, virtually the same process as cleaning the laces. You can pretty much get a standard cloth, just get a little bit of water, it doesn't really need to be that wet, and just sort of aggressively rub like that. As you can see, I'm smudging it a little, you can't quite see that, but get a bit of washing powder, washing liquid, whatever you've got, and just sort of rub it as a sort of fabricated layer on top of the sock liner, and just rub it until you get all the sort of heavy mud stains out. On the bottom there, you've got no problems there, but over time you may get mud on the bottom of your sock liner from when your socks are muddy and you put your socks inside the boots. But overall it should be quite easy to clean. This is a Volt yellow sock liner. so it's not the easiest sock line to clean, but overall it should be quite easy to clean. So that's pretty much it in terms of cleaning the Superfly 5. Just as I mentioned before, with a sole plate, boot bro, or a toothbrush, depending on what you've got. And the upper is with a washcloth, the Flyknit upper here, and the done it for collar with a washcloth with a bit of washing liquid. Overall, it's a very easy 3-step process, which I think everyone out there that has a Superfly 5 should be doing this at least every 2 weeks when you're playing a regular season. So the drying process for the Mercurial Superfly 5 is very, very easy. All you need to do is just wait. You just put it in a dry area, not in front of the sun or in front of a heater, just in a really dry area so it can dry out naturally. No sort of added heat or added sunlight, so it doesn't damage any of the stitching or any of the materials inside. So just put it in a dry area and it should dry pretty quickly, 1 to 2 days at best. So now we'll get on to the laces of the Mercurial Superfly 5. As you can see, these are black laces and it's just got a few mud spots here and there. So all you need to do is just get the cloth again, get the laces wet. Actually chuck the whole laces in and get them really, really wet. And you just sort of scrub down on the dirty parts. You can also throw the laces in with your standard wash in a pillowcase if you really wanted to do it easy. But I'm going to do it manually here and just clean all the mud out of the laces here. Quite lucky with the Superfly 5, it's got black on the Flyknit and it's got black on the laces, which makes it very easy. Of course, black is very hard to see the mud. We have cleaned green boots and bright yellow boots before and they've actually been quite a bit of a nightmare, as well as the Tempo Legend. The white Tempo Legend was a very hard boot to clean. Matt did a video on that. But I've just sort of soaked the laces here, and you can't quite see it, but most of the mud has sort of been strewn out. I've just sort of crushed the laces here just to sort of get all the moisture out and mud will flow with it. And yeah, it's same drying process with the laces as with the boot itself. Just clean it in dry area, make sure all the water is out of the laces itself, and just put that with the Superfly 5 or just hang it up on a coat hanger or whatever you like. So now we'll get on to the second boot and we'll speed the whole thing up in full just to see how really easy it is to clean the Superfly 5. So there we have it. I've cleaned the Superfly 5, the right boot and the left boot. A very, very easy football boot to clean, considering it's got the Flyknit Dynamite Fit collar. So yes, to clean the upper, all you need is a standard washcloth on the Speed Rip upper. It's got this Nike Skin waterproof layer on top, which really makes it very, very easy to clean the upper. Of course, the Flyknit is the hardest part to clean of the Superfly 5. All you need is a standard washcloth, a bit of washing powder or liquid. If you don't have any washing powder or liquid, that's fine. You just get water and you just quite aggressively rub the Flyknit and the Dynamite Fit collar, and it should get all the mud out. We're very, very lucky that the Flyknit itself is actually black on the Superfly 5, so you can't see every sort of piece of mud on the boot. And in places, yeah, as you can see, I haven't got everywhere on the Superfly 5 all the mud out. But overall, this is a quite sort of quick process on actually how to clean the Superfly 5. Of course, you can chuck it in the washing machine if you really needed it to. Sometimes you can sort of see inside the boot where it's got inner linings which are white, and that may be a really sort of hard part to clean on the boot, because you can't actually open the boot up and sort of get cloth in there or anything like that. So you can throw these in the washing machine. We'll be doing a washing machine video of the Superfly 5 later in this video, as I mentioned before. And to clean your sole plate, you virtually just get the boot bro and just clean quite quickly, or a toothbrush. Most people will have toothbrushes. You just get in between the studs there. Pretty easy. Of course, they haven't done the perfect job there. There's mud in places. And yes, you just leave them to dry for 1 to 2 days in a dry, nice area, not in front of sunlight, not in front of a heater or radiator. You just want to dry them out naturally and they won't be damaged in that sense. So overall, a very easy cleaning process with the Superfly 5. If you have any questions on how to clean the Superfly 5, we'll be happy to answer them in the comment section below. We've also done an unboxing of the Superfly 5 as well as a review. So if you wanted to see the review of the Superfly 5, you click on this boot, the one with the pink blast. And if you wanted to see the unboxing of the Super 5, you click on the Total Crimson Superfly, this side here. So yeah, see those videos if you want to see more information on, if you want to hear more information about the Superfly 5. Definitely been a headline boot of Euro 2016 and the Copa America. Cristiano Ronaldo himself has his own sort of cut version of the collar. He loves the Superfly, it's his sort of boot. Lightweight, it's designed for speed, attacking players. Mercurial, Dimitri Payet, he actually wore the Superfly 4 in the Euros. But it is headlined by speed and strikers and speed players, you know, players that want to score a lot of goals. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next time.